News Radio 105.5 WERC.
I'm JT. Well, it might be time to rethink the American dream. I know it's been considered the quickest way to build wealth and encourage saving. That's home ownership. But I'll tell you what, owning a home has been steadily declining since 2004. In fact, it fell to a rate of 64% in October, and that is the lowest level in 19 years. Unbelievable. Americans 35 years and younger, whose home ownership is near a historic low at 36%, have taken lots of heat for their apprehension to buy, but new research now suggests that, hey, they might be onto something. According to this report released on Tuesday, this couple of days ago, from Hello Wallet. And joining us now to talk more about this, Mark Bloom is here, a real estate expert. Well, Mark, if half of America would be smarter to rent than buy, how do we know which half we should be in?
Sure, well, that's always a question, and there's going to be a couple factors that come into it. And you're right, there has been a lot of back and forth about this, partially because we're kind of near that inflection point where, and I know it's radio, you want a quick answer. The quick answer is if you have good credit and your rent is more than 1% of what your property is likely valued at, then depending on the area that you're in, obviously, because there's some unique examples in throughout the state, then you're probably better off buying than you are renting. If your rent is at or below 1%, you're probably better off renting than you are buying. And obviously, flexibility comes in with rental as well as a kind of a cost that you can't really put a dollar value on.
So if I have a house that's worth $200,000 and my rent is less than $2,000, it's better to rent?
Yeah, if you have a house that's $200,000 and you do an FHA loan in your area, let's say you can qualify, you're looking at several percent down, so 3.5% down. You're talking about $6,000. Essentially, you're financing the entire amount. Depending what part of the country you live in, property taxes, insurance, those kinds of things, your mortgage payment should be considerably less than $2,000 when you're talking about your principal and interest, and then you look at your taxes and insurance if you want to purchase that property.
So my wife and I, it's so funny that I've got you now to talk about this. Judy and I have been talking about whether or not we want to downsize. Are you okay with your phone there? It's making a bunch of weird noises.
I apologize.
Okay, yeah, we've been talking about this, whether or not to downsize, sell the house once the kids are gone. My daughter just got married. My son's finishing up college. And actually not downsize to a smaller home, but actually go back into a rental situation, because I'll tell you what's attractive to us. We've got some equity in the house. But I like the fact that if I live in a rental property, I can call the front office at the apartment complex or the landlord and say, hey, my roof's leaking or my air conditioning's not working, and they fix it, and I don't have to worry about it or cut the grass.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of that. You hit a couple things. So there's a big movement now that you're seeing more affluent people, whether they be empty nesters or younger persons who are getting employment, living in and around downtown and not necessarily renting, some renting, because they want, as you said, even less responsibility. But when you go from having, for a while it was everybody wanted that 5,000 square foot house on 2 acres out in the suburbs, and, you don't realize that's a lot of maintenance to keep up with 2 acres. So it's a lot less expensive to own something in town. You have gas costs, you have fuel costs, transportation, just a greener sense of living that's going on throughout our world really right now. So there's a lot of factors that are coming into play and pushing things that direction.
Well, you got some good news there. Mark Bloom, thank you so much, real estate expert, on what the trends are right now as far as home ownership goes.